Her text came at 10:47 p.m., just as I was setting my phone on the nightstand. Business trip extended. Be home next week. No emoji, no heart, not even a period. Just words that felt too casual for someone who'd been gone 5 days already. I stared at the screen, the blue glow reflecting off the empty side of the bed. I could almost smell her perfume lingering on the pillow, faint now, like the last whisper of something dying. My thumb hovered over the keyboard before I finally typed. No rush. Then I set the phone down, turned off the lamp, and let the darkness fill the room. But I didn't sleep. I kept replaying everything. Her tone before she left, how she'd packed in a rush, how she'd hugged me just a little too quickly at the door. She'd said it was a marketing conference in Chicago. 3 days, she promised. Then 4. Then, apparently, next week. By morning, the message had burned into my mind. I told myself I was overthinking. She had always been ambitious, dedicated. Maybe there were networking dinners or meetings that ran late. But the part of me that knew her best, the part that could read every flicker in her eyes, wasn't buying it. The first real crack appeared that afternoon when I called her hotel. A man at the front desk picked up. Sorry, sir. No one under that name is currently checked in. My stomach tightened. Can you check again? Maybe she extended her stay. He paused. We only had her booked through Wednesday, sir. She checked out yesterday morning. I thanked him and hung up, my hand trembling slightly as the words sank in. Checked out yesterday. I sat there for a long time, the quiet hum of the refrigerator the only sound in the house. Then I opened my laptop. I remembered her saying the company booked through an agency. A few clicks later, I was staring at her work calendar, the one she forgot to log out of. There it was. Client follow-up meeting. Except the location wasn't Chicago anymore. It was marked private and there was no company name listed. That night I called her again. Straight to voicemail. Texted. No reply. Around midnight she finally messaged. Sorry, busy day. Exhausted. Talk tomorrow. I typed out 6 replies. Angry, pleading, sarcastic, but deleted every one. Then I wrote, rest well. Hope it's worth it. Still I needed proof. Not for her. For me. Because once you start to suspect, everything becomes evidence. The tone of her messages. The way she said good night. The delay between responses. The next morning I took the day off and drove to her office. Her assistant greeted me with a smile that faltered when I asked if my wife was attending a conference. Conference? She repeated. Oh, I think she mentioned taking a few personal days. Personal days. The word hit like a hammer. I drove aimlessly for an hour, mind spinning through memories. The way she'd once looked at me like I was her entire world, the late-night laughter, the inside jokes. All of it felt tainted now. I wanted to scream, to confront her, to make her admit it. But instead I waited. That night I called one last time. She answered. Hey babe, she said, her voice light but slightly forced. You're up late. I could hear faint music in the background. A man's voice laughing somewhere nearby. Where are you? Yes. At the hotel, she said quickly. Some of us came down to the lounge for a drink. Which hotel? Was. Same one, why? Funny, I said. Because they told me you checked out 2 days ago. Silence. Then a nervous laugh. Oh, you must have spoken to someone new. I had them extend it. Stop, I said. My voice cracked. Just stop lying. I could hear her breathing, shallow, caught. Mike. Who is he? Another pause. Then quietly. It's not what you think. Then tell me what it is, I snapped. Tell me why your phone goes silent after 10. Tell me why you smell like cologne that isn't mine. Tell me why you looked relieved when I said I couldn't come with you. There was a long, unbearable stillness. Then softly she whispered, I didn't mean for it to happen. I closed my eyes, letting the words sink in, each one slicing deeper than the last. So it did happen. She didn't answer. I hope he's worth it, I said finally. And then I hung up. The days that followed felt like wading through fog. She texted, called, left voicemails that swung between guilt and denial. I ignored them all. But silence has a power of its own. It drives people insane. On the fourth day, I got another message. I'm coming home tomorrow. We need to talk. She walked through the door the next evening looking pale and drained, a shell of the woman I'd loved. Mike, she said softly, please let me explain. Explain what? Yes. How you lied to my face. How you turned our marriage into a weekend escape. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't plan it. It was a mistake. I was lonely. You've been distant, buried in work. Don't you dare blame this on me, I said, standing. I didn't ask you to find comfort in someone else's bed. She flinched, sobbing now. I'm sorry. I ended it. It's over. I wanted to believe her. God, part of me still loved her enough to want that to be true. But then my phone buzzed on the table, a message preview lighting up the screen. It was from an unknown number. Tell her I said thanks for the weekend. She left her bracelet. Her face went white as she read it. That's not. Don't, I said again. You've run out of lies. She broke down completely, collapsing into the chair, sobs shaking her shoulders. I stood there feeling nothing. No satisfaction. No triumph. Just emptiness. That night she slept in the guest room. The next morning she was gone. Weeks passed before I could breathe normally again. I filed for divorce quietly. No fights, no theatrics. Just a signature and an ending. Then one evening, as I cleared out old emails, I found a draft she'd never sent. The subject line read, "If you ever read this." Inside it said only, "I wish I'd told you sooner. I wish I'd remembered what it felt like to love you before I broke it." I stared at it for a long time before deleting it. Love doesn't die in a moment. It decays slowly, hidden under excuses and silence, until the truth finally drags it into the light. She thought she could escape hers behind a business trip. But the truth has a way of finding its way home. And sometimes when it does, there's nothing left worth saving.